Hey everyone, my name is Caleb Miller. I just wanted to talk to you a little bit today about nanotechnology and friction and how they kind of relate and correspond. And then I wanted to also dive in on the animal kingdom and how it relates a little bit to nanotechnology and friction as well. So to start off, I did want to dive into nanotechnology just a little bit from what I understand of it and how friction plays a part in that. So friction, just to give a little bit of background on that, is applicable in every aspect of our lives. I mean, anytime two surfaces are touching one another, there's friction involved. An example that we can use is like a ball rolling in the road. The rough surface that is that road, it slows down the ball moving on it. And that's kind of how friction works in a large scale. There are ways to combat this friction and have more efficiency in whatever it is that we're doing, like if it were car tires or different things like that. You can add lubrication. Lubrication is probably the biggest aid to friction loss and efficiency is you add some sort of lubrication to make the friction decrease. However, on a nanotechnology or microscopic scale, that lubrication isn't as easily applied because it is on such a smaller scale. When it comes down to nature, however, there's all sorts of different ways that friction is applied in nature. One being the gecko, which we were told not to talk about. I do find it pretty interesting though. Another one is like the snail. The way that it was created, or the way that it is, the way that it's supposed to move would have applied a lot of friction, slowing the snail down even slower than it already is. But because it has that lubrication, it's able to move a little bit more freely. The one that I did want to talk about more specifically, though, is like a snake. After doing a little bit of research and looking at a snake, you can tell that its scales, they all kind of face one way. Like the direction of the scales are all one way. And they all run basically toward the tail, which, thinking about it, like, it's a lot smoother if you like were to run your hand down a snake. If you did it from the head down to the tail, it flows a lot more smoother than if you were to do the tail to the head. And that's how snakes are actually able to move, is they actually use friction to their advantage. The friction that is like applied, or the friction that is encountered when they are touching a surface, they almost use it to their advantage to be able to propel themselves forward by weight distribution and friction usage. So yeah, that's what I have to say about friction and nanotechnology in the animal kingdom. Thanks.